So far, I've been able to give a couple tours to a couple people, and it's been so much fun. Honestly, this was such a cool idea, and I'm so thankful that I get to actually spend quality time with real people, not just make videos and talk to people through comments. And honestly, I've been very impressed by everybody. Pretty much everyone so far already has a great understanding of how everything works, and it might be because you guys watch my videos, or it's really not as hard as I ever thought it was, but most of you guys are better than most employees I've ever hired and tried to train. And I think it's because you guys watch my stuff, but I may be wrong. This is Isabella. She came and did the tour with us the other day. She just scooped out some pistachio and then she added some nuts to it and some strawberries. She's making this one for her mom. Isabella is just like one of you. She doesn't have any training besides watching my videos and me giving her a few pointers here and there. But for the most part, I mean, she pretty much knew how to do everything, which is so funny and so cool to see. She did need just a couple pointers every once in a while. Like here, she almost forgot to chop up her strawberries, which is kind of important. You don't want to eat a whole chunk of strawberry just in the middle of your ice cream. So once she chopped up her strawberries, it was time to fold that all together and then hug it into a ball. Since she was the only one that showed up for the tour, I let her go ahead and make ice cream for her whole family. So she got to experience all different kinds of flavors and all different kinds of toppings because each one is different. Whenever you scoop a different flavor, you'll notice it has a different consistency. Whenever you go to chop, fold different mix-ins, you'll realize that it's very different. And then all of those things adding together, it'll make each ice cream a very different experience. Once you get your ice cream into a ball, and if you're right-handed, you want to put it on your right hand, then put your left spade away. Then we take your left hand and grab a cup, and then take your right hand, pop that into the cup with your right hand, and then put your right spade away. Now you're going to take your scraper and you're going to clean off your spot. You want to make sure you push down on the scraper, and then that will push it forward. You kind of want to make sure that you push down on it so that the pressure will scrape off the frost. I'm going to grab her lid so she can put a lid on top because she's taking these home to her family. But then if you were helping a customer and you weren't putting a lid on top, you could go ahead and put the spoon in it right now and then hand it to them, and then you can go get your spades and help the next customer. We are out of lids for the Love It size, and so I just went ahead and grabbed a Gotta Have It cup and then a Gotta Have It lid, and I just had her drop it down in there and then pop the lid on it. It's really nice to do that when they're messy too. It'll save you a lot of time. Isabella's kind of short and there's not much ice cream left in this pan, so I went ahead and scooped it out for her. Then I also had a fun idea that I was like, oh, this would be kind of cool to try. So once I got my ice cream scooped into a ball, I went ahead and threw it up a few times, and then I threw it to her. Perfect catch. She impressed me, honestly. Like, I was shocked. I would have been trash at this my first day, but she was doing great. I don't know if you noticed, but whenever you put an ice cream on the stone, you want to make a little divot to hold all of your toppings. So that's what she did right there, and then she tucked her spades under the side. Now she's adding more nuts to her ice cream. Normally with the nuts, you don't really have to chop them because they're already chopped. But just to make sure these walnuts get chopped up into smaller pieces, I had her press down to make sure they all get stuck in there, so when she starts chopping, they don't fly all over the place. I've learned that the hard way too many times. And so then now she's just going to chop up her giant walnuts a little bit, and then it's going to be time to fold this all together. Have you noticed this stone is different than the one that I normally mix on? That's because this one is in the counter, whereas normally the ones that I work with are above the counter. That's just how the newer stores are. They all have these embedded stones, whereas the old school ones, the stones are kind of raised above everything. You can also notice that all these toppings have like their own little spot that makes them level with the stone, whereas normally they sit up high above everything else. So since Isabella was doing so well, I wanted to challenge her to throw her first ice cream. So what you want to do with your ice cream is once you get into a ball, you want to make sure your spades are nice and clean. See how hers have all that ice cream on it? If you have the ice cream left on your spades, it's going to get pretty sticky and the ice cream want to stick to that. So you want to make sure you get some water on there and clean it off. Then you're going to grab your cup with your other hand and then throw it up in the air and just commit. You got to commit. If you're afraid, you're going to drop it. So you want to make sure you throw it nice and high so you have a lot of time to catch it with that cup. I don't know how you guys watch these videos and not crave ice cream all day long, because me just watching her make ice cream made me want some. So now we're going to go get some pistachio ice cream. I love pistachio. It's so good. And then we're going to add some almonds to it. I just wanted a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy because I actually already ate a whole nother ice cream earlier today. Yeah, so it's not even 12 o'clock yet, and I've already had, this is my second ice cream, guys. I'm a mess. My last one was sweet cream with Oreos in it, but this one's going to be pistachio with almonds. I just did a little bit. I'm not trying to get too crazy. We're going to go and smush those down and then chop, fold that all together. Since our mix-in was just almonds, we didn't really have to chop it because you don't have to break up the almonds. They're already chopped for you. And then I'm going to go and get my spade wet. And then Isabella offered to catch my ice cream, which was very kind of her. So I'm going to throw it to her. And then now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my favorite way to pick up ice cream. You put the spoon in it and then you just pick it up and then hand it to the customer. But I'm I'm the customer, so I'm gonna eat that later. The emoji of the day is a spoon, and I hope to see you guys soon because